Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome back. Hope you're having an absolutely fantastic day and a fantastic start to the new year. And with the new year, there is a new update, 1.123.1. Will drop January 9th. What is it today? January 11th? I'm only 2 days late. This update brings you 6 brand new Japanese heavies featuring double aiming mechanics and hydropneumatic suspension. What in the world is a double aiming mechanic? I have no idea. Brace yourselves. Revamped onslaught mode with Season of the Crimson Pegasus, whatever that means, is kicking off the day the update goes live. And try out our rebalanced low tiers. Low tier vehicle rebalance. And get ready for the 4th episode of Frontline, which will be released later. Shall we check all the details? The biggest thing is the introduction of the new Japanese Heavies, because the old Japanese Heavies sucked. And I guess now they have new ones. Starting with this Tier 5, the Mitsu 108. And the Mitsu 108 kind of looks like a Japanese little... It's got the 2 teats and a little thing on top so they can hang their laundry. And it's a Tier 5 with 300 alpha. There you go, 130 pen, 300 alpha. 10 degrees of gun depression. With a horrendous 3-second aim time and 0.46 dispersion, which don't mean anything because if you click your mouse button and the shot shoots, WarGaming will decide whether you hit or not. This thing is a very high alpha for Tier 5. It's like the BDR. Maybe it's going to be a beast. I don't know. How fast is it? Top speed 35. Oh, that's brutal. It's going to be a slug. But don't worry, guys. Don't worry, because you can save up all your stuff in the game and get the what is it called? The crew modifiers and the purple equipment and the super turbo, the super purple turbo, and blah, blah, blah. You could probably get this up to, I don't know, 45 or something. All right. What about the Tier 6? The Tier 6 is the Type 3 Juno. Oh, and when you go up one tier, you get less alpha. Because why not? Minus 10 degrees of gun depression. Better aim time, 2.3. It looks like this is going to be a faster firing. Gun reload does 7.3 seconds. The other one was 13.8. Yes, it's a higher DPM, lower alpha gun. And this goes 35 kilometers an hour. Oh, brutal. But I guess what the selling point is on these Japanese heavies is what I watched the little video that they put out. Very powerful turret armor and good gun depression. And it does have good gun depression. What's the turret armor? Is 160 in the front. But, you know, it's Tier 6, so it doesn't matter. Let's keep going. Tier 7. Oh, your alpha goes up again. The Ju-2. You could play the Ju-Nu or the Ju-2. You can play two, you know. 195 pen, 320 alpha, 10.7 second reload, 10 degrees of gun depression, and now all of it, 200 millimeters of flat turret armor that looks like, was that spaced armor? I don't know. 200 millimeters. It all depends on what the modeling shows, guys. These numbers, you know, they're numbers, but then when you go into the 3D model thing, you can go into Tanks GG and look at the modeling, and I don't know. The turret is not going to be all 200. You'll have to find the weak spots. Go on Tanks GG and pull up all the new models for these Japanese heavies before you start trying to pen them. You know, don't guess. Look it up. 35 kilometers an hour. That's slow. Another slug. Tier 8. Oh, Tier 8 all of a sudden is starting to look like an STB1, but it's a heavy, I guess. What is this weird shaped hull there? It's not a V-shaped hull. It's a reverse V-shaped. It's a strange looking hull there. 360 alpha, 225 pen, which is decent for Tier 8. 12 degrees of gun depression. Now, when they say 12 degrees of gun depression, does that mean just regular 12 degrees, or is it 12 degrees with the pneumatic suspension? Because if you have to engage the pneumatic suspension to get 12 degrees, it's a lot harder to play. Have you played the STB1? STB1 has incredible gun depression. Incredible gun depression, but only if you know how to use it. And I think if you're moving more than 10 kilometers an hour, the pneumonic suspension disengages, and then you have whatever the gun depression is. You have to be going slow so that it engages, and you can the whole tank, the track, like the STRV and the STB1. And there's a way of doing it when you're cresting a ridgeline. You don't want to just press W and move forward because it may disengage. You want to press R so that the tank moves forward very slowly, and you can engage the pneumatic suspension and have full gun depression as you poke the ridgeline. You're going to have to learn how to do that. I don't know how to do it. I suck at it, but we'll find out when we play them. Turret armor, 300. Whoa. Oh, and very good looking shape to the turret. That could be a beast. It could be a beast, guys. I don't know. 35 kilometers an hour, though. That's still a slow slug. But these numbers for the tier 8, I will go on a limb and say, could be a beast. And wait a minute. Look at this. Dispersion at 100 meters before and after gun cooling. Oh no. Is it another thing that we have to learn now? So when your gun is hot, you have 0.42 dispersion. And when your gun is cooled, you have then it's a laser accurate sniper. And I guess there's a cooling thing. Is that the double aiming? If you just aim, it's 0.42. But if you let your gun barrel cool, it's 0.28. Okay, you'll have to figure it out, guys. But basically, if your gun's hot, you're going to miss. And if your gun's cool, you might hit. Okay, it could be a beast. With that gun depression and that turret armor, it could be just a beast. Go up to tier 9 and hey, why not lose a little turret armor? You went from 300 to 280, but your alpha goes up to 400. And again, let's see what this says. Yeah, it's the same. Dispersion before and after gun cooling, 0.42 and 0.28. Gun depression elevation, active hydropneumatic suspension. Okay, it tells you. With the active, you need the active pneumonic. What is gun depression? Okay, passive is 8 degrees of gun depression, but with the pneumonic suspension, it's 12 degrees. Did I miss that on the tier 8? No, it just says 12 degrees. So maybe you only get the pneumatic suspension when you get to tier 9, I think is what it's saying. So 12 degrees with active hydropneumatic suspension and 8 degrees without. So all I said before about the pneumonic suspension, this is where it's going to affect you. Hull armor is shit. Turret armor is pretty good. And it's slow. Oh boy. One trick ponies, guys. Hull down beasts is what they're going to be. They're going to be hull down beasts. Slow hull down beasts that are going to take forever to get to position. But once in position, they will be very hard to dig out. Especially if you know how to use the, let's say it again, active hydropneumatic suspension of -12. Oh, and look at this. You get to the tier 10 and you just get 10 more penetration, 400 alpha, and now you only get 7 degrees of gun depression. Unless you hydronomically suspend yourself, then you get 12. And if you let your gun cool, there's going to be a lot of shit to worry about when you play these. You got to get the hydropneumatic suspension going so you have the gun depression. And then before you shoot, you're going to have to make sure that your gun is cooled, the double aiming. Holy smokes. And you're slow. Those who figure out how to use them, they're probably going to be beasts. Should I try and grind the line? Do you want me to do that live, guys? Do you want me to live grind of the Japanese Heavies? It'll take me a month. And you guys will get to feel my pain. Let me know in the comments section. What do you think? There's more. There's more. Let's check out the buffs and nerfs to the lower tiers that they were talking about. Changes to technical characteristics of vehicles. The BT2 hull traverse. Okay, there's a lot of minor changes, and I'm not going to read through all this, but there's 2 in particular that I find a little humorous. 2 iconic vehicles that the community loves that you guys might play have been nerfed. Which ones? Well, the Hetzer. How many of you love the Hetzer? The Hetzer with that big 105 millimeter gun. Well, let's just read it here. The hull armoring has been worsened. We have translated from Russian, and from Russian to English, the hull armoring has been worsened. Thickness of the lower glacis plate has been decreased. Ooh. Reload time of the 105 meter Stug gun, which is the one you have to use to have fun, has been increased from 8.6 to 9.8 seconds. And the aiming time of said gun goes from 1.7 to 2.3. They nerfed the shit out of the gun and they made the armor weaker. Oh, poor Hetzer. How many of you like to play the Matilda? Another iconic vehicle that some people keep, the Tier 4 Matilda. You know, the only thing it has going for it is DPM and armor. It's so slow, but you know, you can have those fun games where you bounce a lot of shots when you finally get to the battle. Well, guess what? Armoring of the Matilda and the Matilda turrets has been worsened. Thickness of the commander's cupola has been decreased. So you get to have a bigger weak spot on your Matilda, because why not? It was too much fun. Right? It was too much fun. A lot of other changes, mainly buffs to a lot of the lower tier vehicles, increasing penetration on some of the guns to keep up with the power creep, right? Because as new tanks get into the game, like that Tier 5 Japanese Heavy that we just saw with 300 alpha and a solid turret, a lot of these lower tier tanks have been slightly buffed, except for the Matilda and the Hetzer. Those of you who like to play the Lux, on the other hand, the Lux has been buffed. Look at this. Depending on the gun, the alpha has been increased. And you can read these, but increased from 36 to 45, from 42 to 60, from 40 to 52, from 74 to 80. So the Lux gets a little bit of a buff. The Leech Tractor, nobody cares what they do to the Leech Tractor, right? But let's just, like, it's a Tier 1. Tier 1s have feelings too. The 3.7 centimeter gun has been replaced with a 3.7 millimeter gun with the same characteristics. So there. We have to do something for the Germans. We will replace 3.7 millimeter gun, and we will give them another 3.7 millimeter gun with exactly same characteristics there, so that they can go into the garage and try to find it in the depot before they roll out in their Tier 1. Like, what the? Okay, whatever. But there's more. You can read them. There's a whole list of tanks here, and mainly buffs to some of the low-tier tanks. And there's more. Onslaught is going to start, and they've introduced something called 3 new combat modifiers to elevate the thrill. The season of the Crimson Pegasus will showcase 3 modifiers on top of the existing 2, ensuring even more exciting battles ahead. And these are the modifiers they're talking about, and they're it's kind of weird, so let's just read this. The existing Onslaught-specific combat modifiers, 25% to starting HP of all participating vehicles, and halved consumable cooldown time, have performed well. They let you play more boldly and take more risks and spend more credits. And help to rebalance the role-skilled system. In the season of Crimson Pegasus, more modifiers will be introduced. And get this, guys, gunplay has been made more convenient. They have made you can play with your gun more conveniently now. Gunplay has been made more convenient with a flat decrease of gun dispersion by 0.15 meters per 100 meters for every participating vehicle. That's huge. That means like you're not going to miss. That's like, the gunplay is more convenient now. You will not miss. Everyone will have significantly better chances of hitting their opponents. So the games can be quicker. They will last less time. Those games have been going on too long. The average game is 4.5 minutes. We want the average game to be 3.5 minutes. So everyone's a sniper. It's going to be like a brawl sniping shit show. It's more convenient. So if you have a small weak spot, the enemy can hit you more conveniently. Yes, my T-125 tumor is more conveniently hit now. As well, spotting mechanics have been adjusted to allow for more unexpected maneuvers and tactical surprises. What do they mean by that? Well, the proximity spotting radius has been halved compared to random battles and equals 25 meters. So now basically if you're hiding in a bush with good concealment, the enemy pretty much has to smash into you to detect you. Also, the base time during which a vehicle remains spotted by enemy vehicles, according to the standard game mechanics, is set to 3 seconds compared to 10 seconds in random battles. 3 seconds compared to 10. So basically, there will be many more invisible tanks. You'll be able to scurry around, get spotted, and before people can react, bloop, you will disappear. You will disappear, and you will be able to snipe everyone more conveniently. So I don't know what tanks will benefit from this. What tanks will not benefit from this. Sneaky tanks that want to move around the battlefield, they'll benefit. Maybe tanks that were historically not very good gun handling will be able to hit their targets anyway. So high alpha guns doesn't, no need to carefully aim. You're basically, your gunplay is going to be more convenient. And overall, I think what it is, it's become more of a Mario Kart shit show. If you're going to play this mode. There's no more strategy and being careful. It's just go out there and onslaught each other. And the last thing is prepare to fight in Frontline Episode 4. The next Frontline episode is on the horizon, showcasing dynamic battle scenario system. In each battle, a randomly selected scenario from 3 combat reserves options will unlock as follows. Standard battle follows regular rules. Operational support accelerates reserves recharge. Okay. Twist of Fate offers a choice between 2 randomly selected combat reserves from a diverse pool, with all 3 scenarios randomly available during episode 4. So basically, Frontlines is going to be more confusing. It's already confusing enough. Nobody knows what the hell they're doing in Frontlines. They're just driving around aimlessly, shooting people, trying to make credits. But now it will be more confusing. There you go. We have more confusing Frontline, more shit show onslaught. We got some Japanese Heavies. The Hetzer and the Matilda have been nerfed. And a bunch of tanks that no one really cares about have been buffed slightly. And other than that, it's same old, same old. But I thought I'd give you guys the update. Leave some comments. Let me know what you think. And most importantly, let me know if you want me to grind the Japanese Heavies live while trying to complete the heavy tank missions on my EU account. Okay, guys? Thanks for watching, and I will catch you. Maybe I'll be on the onslaught field versus you, and my gunplay will be more convenient. I will more conveniently take you out on the battlefield. You never know.